I'm sitting backstage with Example just before he's about to go on stage. Thank you so much for talking to me again.
Thank you. It's getting a bit of a habit, isn't it?
I know. Do you know, I can't even keep up with you. Last time I spoke to you, where were you? Does Belgium ring a bell?
Belgium. I was in Belgium.
Yeah.
And then since then I've done Holland and Ibiza and Greece and 2V festivals. And now we're in Ireland.
How? How do you get the energy to keep going? Just the plane flights alone would kill me.
Just there's fans to please, so you can't let them down.
What are you looking forward to most about playing here at Marley Park?
Because the Irish are always up for it.
Yeah.
My Twitter's been going crazy today. I mean, they've sold 25,000 tickets today. I'm sure, a lot of them are here to see the amazing lineup. You've got David Guetta here, obviously, and Benny Benassi and Rizzle Kicks, so it's not all about me. I'm hoping they all know my songs. They'll all know my songs, surely, and we'll get the crowd bouncing. And despite the weather, I mean, it's not like the Irish aren't used to this weather anyway.
And do you know what? You've come off at Ibiza, so you've had some sun. It's time to come back down to earth with some rain.
Yeah, just for a day, and then I'm going back to Ibiza again next week. So, and Mallorca for about 4 hours or something stupid.
Your schedule is a bit nuts. You were saying that in July you did a mad...
I did 22 gigs in July and 36 flights.
And August, you're saying, is slowing down. Tell us what slowing down is, for example.
August is 18 gigs and I think 24 flights.
And that's slowing down?
That's going to be quite easy to do. Like, I got back from somewhere, I can't remember, Monday, and I did a regional radio tour of the UK. So, and these were days off, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were meant to be days off for me, and I ended up doing Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool, Newcastle, Lincoln, Leeds and Hull in the space of 3 days, and Nottingham. So yeah, even my days off from flying and airports are still on the move.
Yeah, because you don't just have the performing, you have the interviewing, but then there's getting your album together, shooting the video clips.
I mean, this week's been like a great example for it, because I obviously did like 6 gigs in a row last week, came back, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I did about, I think, 42 interviews in 3 days, just same questions over and over again, but it's part of the job. And then yesterday, Thursday, I recorded guitars for 2 songs on my album, and then yesterday evening I had a meeting to discuss the next tour, announced the arena tour this morning, and then also today I'm finalising the artwork for the album over email, and then I'm on stage. So it's kind of just a bit of everything.
Will you tell me about your new album? What can we expect?
Guitars, and guitars. Lots of bass, more guitars.
Can we still dance to the music though?
Oh yeah, it's like I wouldn't make an album you couldn't dance to. It's very much hands in the air, moshy, bouncy. It's like an electronic rock album. So it's headbanging, moshing, bouncing. It's, you can still... It ticks all the boxes that all the example songs should do. It's just got added guitars this time.
Can't wait. And I also love the fact that your songs, yes, we can dance along to them, but there's meaning behind them.
Very important to have meaning in your songs, definitely. You can't just make songs about nothing.
Yeah. You've got to love this job to continue doing it. And everyone talks about the perks. What's the toughest thing about doing this job?
Just never being in the same place for more than like a day, and losing touch with your family and friends. That's probably the hardest thing. Everything else is great.
How do you keep that connection? Because you keep the connection with your fans, but yeah, the family and friends, missing birthdays, missing weddings, missing big events.
I don't know, like my mum's got to a point where she knows that I can't call her or email her every day. So she's just like, Elliot, you're only going to do this once, it's not going to be for the rest of your life. So she just reads my Twitter every day to find out what I'm doing. That's
what I love too. Your Twitter, you're so open, you're so honest. Today's tweet made me laugh.
Which one?
You landed in Dublin and you said, I've only arrived in Dublin and I've already heard "Tanks a Million" 17 times.
Well, the woman on the flight on Aer Lingus said "Tanks a Million" about 10 times. So I was like, can I have a cup of tea? And she said, yeah. And then she was like, that'd be €2. And I gave her 3 and said, keep the change. And she went, "Tanks a million." And then I said, oh, I don't need 4 milks, take 2 back. And she went, very thoughtful, "Tanks a million." And then I got off the plane and I gave the bloke my passport and he gave it back and he went, "Tanks a million." And then I got into my car, and the guy dropped me off. I shook his hand and I said, "Thank you, Paul, for driving me." He went, "No bother, thanks a million." And the woman gave me my food and catering, thanks a million. There was lots of thanks a millions.
What's another way you definitely know you've landed in Dublin?
Usually thanks a million. You know you're in Dublin when it starts raining.
And actually, you're coming back after Marley Park. You're coming back for the Arthur's Day gig.
Which is only like 3-4 weeks away.
What can you tell us about it? I can't believe you don't know much about this gig.
They haven't told us anything. All I know is it's sponsored by Guinness, and I'm going to perform in a secret pub somewhere.
So what makes you sign up for something that you're not 100% about?
Because it's in Ireland, and I love the fact that after the gig everyone says thanks a million.
In many different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
And will you be performing some tracks from your new album at that gig?
Yeah, there's going to be like at least three songs, possibly 4 new songs in the set. It's been great performing the new songs because everything's got guitar in, and we've just got a new guitarist, so it's all making sense now in terms of the live arenas.
Yeah. And how do you feel, like, people like the old stuff as well? How do you keep that fresh for yourself? Because, I mean, playing it night in, night out, does that start getting a bit stale for you? Not for your fans, but for yourself.
I think the key thing is just inject some energy into it. And, like invigorating old tracks can be hard sometimes. So they'd never sound like the record. We always replace some of the parts in the songs. Like we add thicker drums, or instead of playing stuff on a synth, we play on a guitar, or we make the bass fatter, or we shorten the songs, or we lengthen the songs. So, what you're used to hearing on your iPods is going to be very different when you hear it live.
Yeah, and I love, you actually said just before, your mum said, just enjoy this while you can because you're not going to be at it for a long time. But I love one of the things that you've said. I'm not in this for the fame, and I'm not in this for the number ones because Mr. Blobby got a number one. Yeah. I want the longevity. So you will be at this for a lot longer. I will be at this for a long time, yeah. I'm hoping to do this job for at least 15, 20 years. I mean, by the time I finished, I would have liked to have had, some people are happy with 5 albums. I would have liked to have had 15 albums out, just to emulate all my heroes, Who are your heroes?
My heroes go from people such as The Clash and Nirvana to people like Blur and Kasabian, The Kinks. I basically just want to leave a legacy. It's not really about the amount of albums you have. Yeah. It's just leaving a legacy of a body of work, and the 4th album's out this year, and I'll be working straight away on the 5th album. And I think, I was listening to Green Day on the radio the other day, and they've put out a shed load of albums, and now they're about to release 3 in a row. Uno, dos, tres, I think they're calling them. So it's just, when you think there's people who've been around 15, 20 years, and they're still going, and they're still releasing albums, kind of makes you realise I haven't achieved that much, and there's a long way to go.
That's good, because you don't want to think that you've just hit your peak now and it's all down from here.
I mean, it's been a great journey. I've done 2,000 gigs. I've played all over the world. 4th album's about to come out. I've had I think in the UK 14 top 40s, probably 4 top 10s in Ireland, whatever it is. It's just amazing to keep travelling, but you can't rest on your laurels, and I think this is going to last forever. So.
And where's the weirdest gig you've played?
Taiwan. They kind of just stood there and didn't react, and they were being polite, and then someone came and whispered in my ear and said, "You got to tell them what to do," and then they went wild.
Really?
Yeah, they're really polite.
You won't be doing that tonight for the Irish audiences.
The Irish will be up for it by the time I get on, I'm sure.
Well, Elliot, thank you so much for spending time with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Cheers.